On a clear October night in 1978, 100 men gathered at Everett Middle School with the hopes and dreams of starting a chorus. I was there. Two names emerged as possibilities: Men About Town and the San Francisco Gay Men's Chorus. The second would be a huge risk. You could be fired from most jobs for being gay. Choosing the latter, we emerged as the first openly gay chorus in the world, and 3 years later, we embarked on an extraordinary 9-city tour. On the day we departed, the San Francisco Chronicle heralded the venture. A smaller article on the same page described a mysterious pneumonia found in 5 homosexuals. That mysterious pneumonia soon had a name: AIDS. It became the headline and changed our lives forever.
The deaths mounted and came in never-ceasing waves. The chorus became more than a chorus. It was family. We were there to hold and nurture each other, to serenade and to mourn. We even often wondered if there would even be a chorus when this horrific scourge was over, if it ever ended. The first list of those lost was in our 1988 10th anniversary concert program. There were 38 names. In 1993, we took a photo that demonstrated the number of chorus members lost, almost as many as there were singing men. Those with their backs turned represent the number of chorus members who had passed. In 2018, we reenacted that photo when the number of deaths reached almost 300. That list and those photos provide just the smallest view of the unimaginable horrors to come. They were just a hint at the massive loss of life that would reach over 32 million worldwide.
By the early 90s, it was clear the nightmare we were suffering was not going away. It was out of control. The chorus needed a tangible way for us to make sure that the members we were losing to this terrible disease would never be forgotten. There are 4 voice parts in the chorus. We decided to create something called the 5th section, because the people in the 5th section could no longer sing with us with their voices, but they could stand on stage with us in spirit. In 1991, actor Jeremy Irons wore a red ribbon to the Tony Awards to symbolize activism and awareness of this terrible disease.
So, join us now for a gala evening of stars, music, and awards.
The chorus embraced this concept. We asked a person with AIDS if he would create red ribbons for us. He did so spectacularly with red beaded fabric, which we wore until the ribbons fell apart. We still wear red ribbons today and will continue to do so until there is a cure. As we stand here at the beautiful artist portal to the National AIDS Memorial Grove, we remember a song called Never Ever, which we commissioned so that the memory of these people will never ever be forgotten. The final phrase of that song is etched here forever.
As I stand here today, it is with a heavy heart. It was 4 decades ago that the first case of HIV and AIDS was first diagnosed. It was 30 years ago when the AIDS Memorial Grove in Golden Gate Park was envisioned and created. Over the last 40 years, there has been so much loss. This community in San Francisco was so devastated by the AIDS crisis. And as San Franciscans have for so long, a community came together to create a space in which those that were going through the devastating loss could gather together and find hope for the future. Thus was created the AIDS Memorial Grove in Golden Gate Park. In 1996, Nancy Pelosi, who ran for Congress on an AIDS platform, wrote the bill that designated this space as our nation's only memorial to HIV and AIDS.
Throughout the world, people are reflecting upon the progress that has been made in the fight against AIDS.
The San Francisco Gay Men's Chorus was so heavily devastated and impacted in the early days of the epidemic, losing so many of its members to this just devastating virus. When we had the opportunity to work with the San Francisco Gay Men's Chorus to envision and see to its completion the Artist Portal, it was an opportunity for us to honor those lives lost, not only within the chorus, but within choruses and bands across this nation, and also to ensure that other artists that had been lost and the art that was also lost by those individuals' lives being shortened would forever be remembered. So as I stand here, it is important that we remember the individual names that were lost, but most importantly, that we keep their lives and their memories and their spirits alive by telling the stories. Because that is what the Artist Portal and the National AIDS Memorial in its totality will do in perpetuity. It will tell the story of the epidemic, the good, the bad, and the ugly, but also the stories of hope and resilience and compassion and activism. And that's what we stand for here in San Francisco, both the National AIDS Memorial and the Gay Men's Chorus, that we will never again allow a community to be devastated by discrimination, stigma, and hate. So thank you, San Francisco Gay Men's Chorus, for all you've done and for helping make this possible.
The chorus was involved with the Grove from the beginning. They did everything from volunteer days when they would pull weeds to singing for special events. But there was never a permanent place for the chorus. I got here in January 2011, and we immediately set up a meeting with John Cunningham and his people. At that meeting, we dreamed about what the chorus could have here at the Grove. We thought about a boulder with our name etched in it, or a bench. Both are beautiful, but they just didn't have enough words. In my travels, I have a favorite spot. It's on the north shore of Oahu. It's a Buddhist temple. Outside there is a beautiful gong, and the instructions are to hit the gong and say a name of someone you've lost. And the vibration, the sound waves will carry that name around the world. I shared that with John. I even brought photos and videos, and I said, I would like for our memorial to have an aural component. We are a chorus after all. He looked at me and said, well, that's not going to be possible, Tim. After all, it's a national monument, and the board in the very beginning set it aside as a quiet place, a sanctuary, where there would be only the sounds of nature. I said, I completely understand, John, and continued my research into a chime. We met month after month for years, and finally we set a date. We just said, we're going to do this on our 40th anniversary in 2018. We didn't know what it was going to be, so one day John called and he said, bring your staff over, we want to show you something. We had no idea what it was. We got here and there were just all these people, staff members and board members down in the valley of the Grove. He said, follow us. And we went up this beautiful path and then a babbling brook, and we climbed up to the end of the Grove. As we got here, there was a beautiful clump of oak trees looking out over the DeYoung Museum and the Cal Academy. We had no idea why we were here. He said, this can be yours for your memorial. We fainted. We picked ourselves up, and then he said, and because it's at the end of the grove and lies just outside the valley, you can have your aural component. We fainted again. So my research paid off because we were able to install an 8-foot emperor chime here at our memorial. The names that are engraved here are that of LGBTQ choruses and bands across the country. It also includes a Baptist church, First Baptist Greenville, South Carolina. And of course, it has the names of those singers we've lost, as well as heroes in the fight against AIDS. Here we are, exactly 40 years after that first newspaper article about a mysterious pneumonia. It is not a mystery anymore, even though we have no vaccine or cure. But we will continue fighting, and we will come back to this place, and we will remember, and we will honor, and we will always, always hold them in our hearts. The Artist Portal.
Peace remains, where silence thunders and angels sing. Imagination and amazing grace brings us closer to our home in space. The stars are gathered and illuminate to lead us safely to heaven's gate. And we look behind us at the wonder of the earth, only to remind us where God gave birth. Way out there, where peace remains, where silence thunders and angels sing. Imagination and amazing grace brings us closer to our home